For the past 2 years, tech giants have been selling a very specific story. They promised corporate boards that artificial intelligence could magically and autonomously upgrade their businesses from top to bottom. Corporate executives listened and reacted. They initiated massive layoffs, purging their software engineers under the assumption that these new AI models were ready to handle the entire codebase. But after companies spent millions on AI licenses and APIs, the expected return stalled. In practice, these algorithms struggled to execute complex, multi-layer tasks without breaking. The models hit a physical wall of corporate infrastructure. Most large enterprises still run on 1980s mainframes and outdated Java environments, architectures that violently reject the clean integration of a modern AI node. While an AI agent can write an isolated feature, it lacks the context to navigate or manipulate massive, undocumented legacy systems. Much of the investment flowing into AI assumes a level of autonomous scale that these legacy environments simply don't allow. This implementation gap puts the industry's central growth narrative at risk. Major providers like OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic realized the depth of this problem. Their pristine algorithms were effectively locked out of the world's most valuable corporate systems. They realized that to make their products work at the enterprise level, they still needed human developers to manually bridge the gap. This triggered a quiet rehiring phase. Tech giants began recruiting thousands of the exact same software engineers that the broader market had just let go. This created a delicate PR problem. These providers had to build a massive human labor force while maintaining the public perception that AI is an autonomous replacement for that very labor. To solve the PR paradox, the industry moved toward a comprehensive rebranding of the traditional software engineer. They moved away from familiar titles and introduced something more militaristic, the Forward Deployed Engineer, or FDE. Despite the futuristic branding, the core responsibilities of an FDE match those of a traditional IT consultant. The process begins when a client company realizes they have an expensive AI license they have no idea how to operate. The provider sends an FDE to the client site to serve as a human translator, connecting the tech giant's software to the client's messy reality. These engineers function as the manual integration layer, doing the heavy lifting that the algorithms cannot handle on their own. The day-to-day workflow of an FDE highlights the human effort involved. It begins with a forensic assessment of legacy systems that the AI cannot map independently. The FDE manually architects a proof of concept, drawing a pathway between the rigid legacy servers and dynamic cloud AI. They select modern tools like AWS Bedrock or vector databases as translators to allow data to flow between the systems. The FDE then handles the political side, presenting this proof of concept to client executives to secure manual approval before a single line of production code is written. In the final deployment, the engineer manually patches the friction that occurs when forcing an AI model into a decades-old environment. Every stage of this automated transformation depends on bespoke human engineering to survive the integration process. This cycle reveals an ironic flow of capital between non-tech corporations and AI providers. Consider the path of the engineer. They are often fired from a corporate HQ as a cost-cutting measure. They are then hired by a tech giant, rebranded as an FDE, and rented back to that same corporation at a massive premium. The tech giants have effectively monopolized the labor pool they once claimed was obsolete. The result is a multi-billion-dollar labor arbitrage, where the automation revolution relies on the high-priced rental of human expertise. For developers, the strategy is to capitalize on this rebrand rather than being intimidated by it. You don't need a PhD in machine learning to enter this field. Success in this market comes from skill layering, combining existing expertise in DevOps or legacy infrastructure with a practical understanding of cloud AI implementations and API integrations. By adapting your resume to use this new terminology, you align yourself with the roles these tech giants are desperate to fill. AI providers currently rely on human engineers to maintain their trillion-dollar illusion. If you master the implementation, you stay on the profitable side of the rebrand.